Okay, today we're going to take a look at Sprint S, a chart being brought to you by freechartvideos.com, using time-honored techniques to understand modern markets. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to be any form of investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own due diligence and make investment decisions that are suitable for your financial situation. I'm not a licensed professional. I'm just a guy that draws lines on charts. Okay, we're looking at a long-term chart on Sprint, just so you kind of get the background picture. If we go even further back to a weekly chart, well, we probably even have to go back to a monthly. Hold on. That was overkill. Should have been there at rehearsal. 7-day chart. Sometimes these lines jump around when I move to these extremes. But anyway, you can see that Sprint has a peak here in 1999, another peak in the middle of '07, then the big crash. This was actually a little bit before the normal bottom in March '09. But you kind of get the big picture. I'm wondering, as I look at this, is Sprint going to ever come back and retest this line? Well, maybe. Looking now at a one-day chart, you can see that Sprint was in a downtrend for a little bit more than 6 months. Broke out, kind of hugged that upper line, came up, made a high, came back down, back tested this line again, the one that I'm highlighting. Then it went to about 5:30, came back, looked like it was maybe going up again, and then kind of crashed and burned on earnings. And so let's take a look and see if we can get a clue as to whether or not Sprint is going to be a buy when we get back down to this green line. The first thing I want to make mention of is I had a trade in Sprint at 323, and I sold it actually got out of it in the about 460. So I didn't get this high here, but I made a pretty nice trade that I was happy with. But I'm actually looking at maybe a starter position if conditions are met, and here's what those conditions are. Okay, here is a 5-minute chart. This was the day that Sprint announced their earnings. I wasn't following it that much at the time because I was already out of it. I don't recall that the earnings were that bad. It just sparked a sell-off. So, big downward move, come back to this point, come back to this point, come back to this point. Then we got a bottom and a bottom. And let me tell you what I'm doing at this juncture. I am charting these peaks because I want to see what kind of pattern they make. And so far, it looks like, even though this is not a culmination of a bullish situation, it's clearly bearish. There have been times when a descending wedge has developed after a strong bearish move, and that descending wedge still acts in its final outcome in much the same way. Now, if you were watching the S&P video today, you know I pointed out that sometimes when you see these wedge patterns develop and you find out where the apex is, you sometimes end up with that apex appearing at a technically significant area. So let's extend these lines. And lo and behold, another instance where if this continues to trade in this constricting pattern, where do we intersect? We intersect right at 4, and we intersect right on this lower trend line that has been operative for quite a while. So what am I looking for? Well, as I watch Sprint trade, I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I will look to buy in the low fours. It's not going to go all the way down and just get into this little constricted area all the way. It'll probably break out somewhere in the next couple of days. I will look to buy on the back test of this top line. I'll make that green. So as Sprint comes out of this pattern, if it breaks out to the top, I will start a position on the back test of that line. What will my target be? Well, my target, the first target, will be to meet this line, which will be in the high fours. If that were to break, then my target would be to go ahead and check this top of the channel in the low sixes. So anyway, just thought I'd point this out to you because you've got that interesting little coincidence again, or is it? Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please, when you get a chance, go check out freechartvideos.com. Check out the links and other stuff, and I appreciate your patronage. And we'll see you next time with a couple new charts.